Hello, my name is Jennifer Harris, and the topic I will be presenting today is on colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer is a cancer of the large intestine, which can also move down into the rectum area. It also increases with age and is more so prevalent after the age of 45 years. Some of the risk factors that contribute to this cancer are a part of our Western lifestyle in the United States here, which is lack of physical activity, high BMIs, high fatty diets, tobacco and alcohol usage. There is a small percentage that do have genetic or familial history that contribute to their increased risk. The morbidity for colorectal cancer is very interesting. It's the fourth leading type of cancer diagnosed annually in the United States, with approximately 150,000 new cases every year. That leads to an incidence of 37.7 people per 100,000, and the prevalence is just short of 1.4 million individuals. The mortality rate for colorectal cancer significantly increases with age. Again, you can see on this slide that the average age of death from colorectal cancer is 72 years old, and it starts to increase significantly from 45 years and up. The mortality rate for males versus females is slightly different, with males having a death rate of 15.7 compared to the females of 11.0. One of the other huge disparities that you may notice on this slide is for Black males specifically. They are at 22.3 per 100,000, which is higher than any other group. The three levels of prevention are listed here. Primary is indicative of making healthy lifestyle choices. The secondary level of prevention is early cancer screening through various testing. And the tertiary level of prevention is early diagnosis through that screening process, and thus removing polyps or tumors that exist, and adopting those healthy behaviors discussed about in the primary prevention. Colorectal cancer is such a public health issue that it was incorporated into Healthy People 2030. You can see the three goals on this slide, and essentially number one is looking to reduce that mortality rate that we had discussed previously. Number two is increase that screening or the secondary prevention. And number three is encouraging those healthy behaviors. The USPSTF grades clinical recommendations based on compelling scientific or evidence-based research and outcomes. You can see here colorectal cancer screening received an A for ages 50 to 75 and a B for ages 45 to 49. This illustrates the importance of quantitative research in public health for such recommendations to be made. I selected this peer-reviewed article entitled Assessment of Colorectal Cancer Screening Disparities in U.S. Men and Women Using a Demographically Representative Sample because it was relatively new, being published in June 2022, and it analyzes U.S. data and takes a look at disparities that exist. The results were also interesting to me, given that more Blacks are screening, but overall the U.S. still isn't meeting screening goals. The quantitative variables analyzed in this peer-reviewed article were categorized into three broad sections, and they are listed here on the slide. All of these variables were further categorized by male versus female. The data used in this article was from the 2019 NHIS data, where 14,000 individuals were taken a look at. There were categorical and continuous variables in this article that were analyzed. Respectively, the weighted percentage and the 95% confidence interval were looked at, and then the weighted mean and standard error. Multivariate regression was also used to look at the association between colorectal cancer screening and the variables listed on the previous slide. Quantitative methods are very important for public health. They help establish an understanding of our population health issue at hand and establish a baseline of data. We can then identify interventions and how effective they may or may not have been, and then associate the strength or weakness of that correlation to the interventions being trialed. In summary, colorectal cancer is a public health concern because it is the fourth leading type of cancer diagnosed annually, with 50,000 deaths each year. Screening is the key to early detection and treatment, and quantitative research assists in evaluating the effectiveness of our interventions and the disparities that may exist amongst our populations. Thank you for your time and attention on this very important public health topic.